Picture an animal with no brain and no blood that can still hunt and see. An animal that can clone itself from a single lost limb and eats with its stomach on the outside of its body. You think you know what a starfish is? Well, get ready to discover the most incredible truths about one of the ocean's most alien creatures, facts that sound more like science fiction than reality. By the end of this, you'll never look at a starfish the same way again. First off, let's get one thing straight. Starfish aren't actually fish. It's one of the biggest mix-ups in the animal kingdom. They don't have gills, scales, or fins, and they move in a way that's completely different from any fish. That's why scientists much prefer to call them sea stars. So, if they're not fish, what are they? Sea stars belong to a group of spiny-skinned animals called echinoderms, which means their closest relatives are sea urchins, sand dollars, and sea cucumbers. It's a family of creatures that seems designed by a sci-fi author. There are about 2,000 different species of sea stars, and they live in every ocean on Earth, from tropical reefs to the freezing polar regions. And while we usually picture them with 5 arms, some species break that rule entirely, boasting 10, 20, or even 50 arms. Alright, fact number 2 is where things get truly bizarre. Sea stars have absolutely no brain and no blood. Think about that for a second. This is an animal that actively hunts and navigates its world without a central command center. Instead of a brain, they have a nerve ring in the middle of their body and a web of nerves running down each arm. This system lets each arm act semi-independently. If one arm finds food, it can take the lead and steer the entire body toward the meal. So, how do they move nutrients without blood? They use one of nature's most brilliant inventions, the water vascular system. It's basically a hydraulic network of canals. They pull seawater in through a filter on their top side called a madreporic. This water fills their internal canals and acts like a circulatory fluid, transporting gases and nutrients. This ingenious system is also the secret to their alien-like movement. And that brings us to fact number 3. Sea stars walk using hundreds of tiny water-powered tube feet. If you gently flip over a sea star, you'll see grooves filled with what look like tiny tentacles. Those are its tube feet, and a single animal can have up to 15,000 of them. Here's how it works. The sea star uses its water vascular system to push water into these feet, causing them to extend. The ends of the feet use a type of chemical adhesion to grip surfaces, not suction like you might think. They move in a coordinated wave, with one section of feet gripping while another releases, pulling the animal along. It's a slow but incredibly powerful way to get around that lets them climb rocks and, most importantly, overpower their prey. You'd think an animal with no brain wouldn't bother with eyes, but you'd be wrong. Fact number 4 is that sea stars have an eye at the tip of each and every arm. Now, don't expect a cute cartoon face. These are very simple eye spots, usually just a tiny red or black dot. These are not complex eyes. They're primitive light sensors that can't see fine details and are completely colorblind. So, what's the point? They are perfect for detecting light, dark, and large shapes. This helps them navigate their world, find their way back to a shadowy reef, or hide from the silhouette of a predator. That means a sea star with 40 arms effectively has 40 eyes, giving it a blurry 360-degree view of its surroundings. Now for one of the most famously weird facts about sea stars. They eat by pushing their stomach outside of their body. It's a feeding strategy that's as brilliant as it is grotesque. Many sea stars prey on bivalves like clams and mussels. Getting inside that hard shell is the challenge. The sea star crawls over its victim and uses the incredible coordinated power of its tube feet to pry the shell open, even just a fraction of a millimeter. That's all the space it needs. The sea star then pushes one of its stomachs out through its mouth and into the shell. The stomach releases powerful digestive enzymes, turning the prey into a soupy meal right inside its own shell. Once dinner is liquefied, the sea star absorbs the nutrients and pulls its stomach back in before moving on. We're only halfway through the list and things are about to get even more mind-bending. If you're enjoying this look into the alien world of sea stars, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss the unbelievable abilities we're about to reveal. Moving on to fact number 6. Sea stars are masters of defense. Their first line of defense is their tough, spiny skin, which is made of hard, overlapping plates that are difficult for predators to bite through. Many species are also covered in sharp spines, giving any attacker a painful lesson. But their defenses aren't just physical. Many sea stars produce powerful, bitter-tasting chemicals called saponins that cause predators to spit them out instantly. Others, like the infamous crown of thorns starfish, are covered in venomous spines that can cause intense pain. And if all else fails, they have one last trick up their sleeve. They can voluntarily detach an arm, leaving the wiggling limb behind to distract a predator while the rest of the body escapes. That ability to drop an arm leads us right into our 7th fact, the sea star's most famous superpower, regeneration. If a sea star loses an arm, it can simply grow a new one. This is thanks to special pluripotent cells. Think of them as master cells that can become any new tissue needed, whether it's skin, nerves, or muscle. This isn't a quick fix, though. The process is slow and complex, often taking a year or even longer for a new arm to fully regrow, complete with tube feet and a new eye spot. Most sea star species can do this as long as their central disc, the main body, is mostly intact. But for some species, this ability goes one incredible step further. Get ready for fact number 8, because this is where biology sounds like science fiction. A few species of sea star can regenerate an entire new body from a single severed arm. This isn't just regrowing a part. This is creating a complete, genetically identical clone. For this to happen, the severed arm usually needs to have a small piece of the central disc attached. That fragment contains enough information to regrow an entire new body. The regenerating piece is often called a comet because it looks like one large arm with a tiny new disc and stubs of new arms growing from it. Amazingly, a few rare species can perform this feat without any part of the central disc at all, surviving on stored nutrients until a new body forms. This makes them some of the most resilient creatures on the planet. While the 5-armed sea star is the icon, our 9th fact is that the family tree of nearly 2,000 species includes some truly bizarre and beautiful forms. There's the sunflower sea star, which can have up to 24 arms, reach over 3 feet wide, and move surprisingly fast on its 15,000 tube feet. Then you have the stunning royal starfish, with its deep purple body and bright orange border. In the deep sea, you might find the Brizingida sea stars, which look more like fragile, spindly spiders. And perhaps one of the strangest is the pincushion starfish, which is so plump and inflated it barely looks like a star at all, more like a living throw pillow. From their bloodless, brainless bodies to their hydraulic feet, and from their external stomachs to their astounding ability to literally clone themselves from a fragment of an arm, the sea star is a true marvel. They are living proof that life can find ways to thrive that defy our expectations, operating on a set of biological rules that seem completely alien. They are far more than just pretty shapes on the sea floor. They are complex, resilient survivors who have perfected an existence that is as strange as it is successful. So, which of these incredible facts surprised you the most? Was it the eyes on their arms, the stomach they spit out, or their ability to regenerate an entire body? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the wild world of sea stars, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations into the unbelievable corners of the animal kingdom. Thanks for watching.